Hey guys, how you doing? It's Adrian and John here from Florida Adventurers. We're out here on the trail today to kind of show you guys a little glimpse of what are you doing, man? Making a video.
I'm watching IntenseAngler's tip of the week.
Oh.
Hey there guys, John here, and before we even think about proceeding with this week's tip, I've got to stop and give a huge thank you to my friends John and Adrian over at Florida Adventurers for putting together that introduction for us. That was absolutely classic, you guys. 2 thumbs up on that one, man. Thanks a lot for doing that. And if you guys are not familiar with John and Adrian's YouTube channel over there, you could probably tell just by that brief little intro that those guys got some good stuff going on over there, man. I'm actually putting a link up here that'll take you over to their channel, and you will not regret it. Some solid stuff. They got plenty of tips and tricks of their own over there, some good gear reviews on some quality, value-oriented gear, and just some plain old outdoor fun and adventures. Some really good stuff over there from a couple really cool, smart guys. So anyhow, proceeding with this week's tip, I actually picked this one up thumbing through an old issue of Outdoor Life magazine, of all things, and really good tip actually. I thought it was pretty cool and gave it a try, really liked it, and really wanted to share it with you guys. So anyway, let's see what we got here. This week's tip is actually another fire starter tip, guys. And as you can see, I've got some various fire steels out here. Now, I know a lot of us use these, carry these around, whether it's a primary source of starting a fire or just a contingency backup survival type item. A very useful piece of equipment to have here. Now, of course, these are just a means of ignition for your fire. You're going to need some type of tinder. And a lot of us will carry a man-made type of tinder, whether that's something like a cotton ball or another type of man-made, fire starting material. And of course, there are the natural options as well. But what I wanted to show you was how to replace the lanyard that comes with these fire steels, whether that's a nylon lanyard such as this or a paracord that you might put on yourself, with an actual lanyard that is a source of tinder in and of itself. So let me show you how I do that and why it's so useful. Now, what we're going to be using for this lanyard is good old jute twine, a great combination of cordage and tinder. First step is, of course, taking some of your jute twine. Now, this is going to be dependent on whatever type of lanyard you're going to be making and however long you want it to be. So we're just going to cut a little bit of that off here and proceed to cut it into 3 separate sections and braid it, and I'll show you that here real quick. Okay, so what we have here now is just 3 equal lengths of the jute twine, and this is approximately 18 inches long, and just with a simple overhand knot tied into it here. And all we're going to do now is just a simple braid, just a classic braid, not too complicated here. Now, of course, you can get a little bit more elaborate, a little bit more tricky if you want, and use something like a cobra weave, something like that you would find on a paracord bracelet. But this works pretty well too. Now, once you get your lanyard braided here to your desired length, you'll just go ahead and finish that off with another quick overhand knot here. Just securing the end. And once you have the ends secure, go ahead and just take some scissors and snip those off, both ends. And there you go. And you're going to have a little bit of fraying going on there. It's just kind of inherent issue with the jute twine. But that is where the good old lighter comes in handy. Now, I know, how ironic is this, right? Using it on our fire steel. But go ahead and just run that over real quick, and it'll get rid of those frayed loose ends on your little lanyard here. So there you have it, nice and cleaned up. Now, of course, the next step is just take your old lanyard off and thread your new lanyard on to your fire steel. Okay, so once you get your pieces on back together, just go ahead and simply tie up a quick little overhand knot here. Like I said, nothing too complicated here. You can keep it really simple or make it as nice and complex as you'd like. But anyhow, there you go, a nice replacement lanyard for your fire steel, which is also a source of tinder. Now, before we proceed here, one thing I did want to say is you can, of course, use something like petroleum jelly to kind of saturate this lanyard to make it more long-lasting and viable for a fire starter, or some melted wax, something like that. And those are great options if you're going to be storing this in a survival kit and not using it too much. That's a really great option for some long-lasting fire starter there. But what I found for day-to-day use, if you're going to be using this a lot, you don't want that mess associated with your lanyard. You want a nice, clean, usable lanyard. And of course, the petroleum jelly is a little bit messy, and the wax I've found tends to kind of flake and just wear off. It's a little bit of a mess. So this is the best method for just a day-to-day carry for a used fire steel. So now that we actually have our jute twine lanyard, I want to show you really quick just a demo on why it's such a great option for fire starter here. Now, in the event that you would need to use this as tinder, you'd of course take this apart, and I've just got a piece here that we're going to be using for just the demo. Now, this stuff is just really easy to kind of break apart, and I'm not sure how great my camera is here, but you just kind of work it apart and it just frays really easy. So you're just going to separate all this, just kind of break it apart like you would a natural tinder or something like that, and just get a nice pile of that going on here. So now we have our jute twine pretty much processed down here, and this is, of course, is just a sample little piece that I was using. You can see how much you get out of that, a nice little bird's nest. So you can imagine how much you'd get out of a braided piece like this, or like I said, a cobra weaved braid. You get quite a substantial amount. So anyhow, let me show you really quick here just how great this stuff is as a fire starter. Ignites really easy and burns really quickly here. So there she goes. Burns really quickly, like I said, and this is uncoated. Now, of course, you can use, you can saturate it with some petroleum jelly, or dip it in wax, something like that, and you're going to get a much longer burn time out of it. But just for some quick fire starter, tinder, really can't beat it. Just a really simple source, like I said, an all-in-one little kit there. Alright guys, well that is about all we've got for this week. I hope you enjoyed the tip, and I hope you found it useful in some way. Before we go here, I do want to say thanks once again to my friends John and Adrian over there at Florida Adventurers for putting together this week's introduction. That was just, like I said, absolutely classic, you guys. You guys really outdid yourself on that, and I appreciate it. And really quickly, I wanted to thank another YouTube user, and that is 2CarGarage1. His name's actually Nick, and he runs CanteenGearShop.com, which was the source of the fire steels that we used in today's video. And I just wanted to say thanks a lot, Nick, for putting out such great products. Loving the fire steels, and really glad that we got them from you guys. So anyhow, just a heads up on a good site to get some good gear at some good prices. And I guess that's about it. I do, of course, want to say thanks to you guys for all of the support and encouragement and everything else that you've extended my way. Really appreciate it, and just really pleased that this tip of the week thing's been going so well. And of course, that's all due to you guys and your positive feedback and encouragement and introductions, comments, and tips that you guys have been throwing. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't even be doing this. So really, really appreciate that. So anyhow, you guys take really good care of yourself, and we'll see you on the next video. And until then, you guys just have fun and take care.